It is Wednesday the 25th of October. It's actually my stepson's birthday today. Happy birthday, Joe. He's out in Kathmandu at the moment, so hope you're having a nice time, Joe. It's really quite chilly today. The rain overnight was really heavy. And still this morning when I arrived at the tackle shop, it was pouring it down. I got my bait, came down here. I planned today, I've packed light. I've got my rucksack and left the shelter at home. I've just bought my tarp. I was going to hike up to the bridging camp. When I got down here, I could see there were a couple of anglers just out in front of the bridging camp, and I thought, you know what, I'm not going to walk another 40 minutes of empty beach just to rock up like a few yards away from these other guys. So I just decided I'm just past the last post, just down by the Berg Sanctuary there. So that's as far as I'm going to go today. Beach looks very busy down towards down in front of the car park over there. There's quite a lot of anglers down there. It's about an hour after low now. You normally find, if you're going to get anything, kind of around now. I'm using a variety of baits. I've got a ragworm that I got from Weymouth Angling Centre this morning. I've got some squid, I've got a couple of prawns, a couple of sardines. Yeah, just one wrap of frozen black lug. But I put a combination of all of that out so far. I've been trying everything on a multitude of different rigs. Everything from a wishbone to a pulley rig to up and overs to loop rigs. I've got all sorts going on there. I've been putting out some big baits, hoping for an eel over low water, but a big eel that is. I thought with this dull overcast weather there might have been a couple around. Still, I'm going to remain optimistic. I've got all day, so hopefully something will come along. Beautiful, lovely colours. That was actually on a wishbone rig, ragworm and squid. Okay, so our right hand rod's been out a while now. I'm just going to put a fresh bait out on that. I've got a couple done up there. I'm going to whack that out, and then we're going to get on with our pasta ready for lunch. Okay, I'm making pasta on the beach. Obviously, probably not ideal, but it just goes to show you that you can make pasta very easily. You don't need any special equipment. You don't need a pasta machine. It's probably not going to be Italy's finest moment, this pasta that we're going to make today, but it's just going to be a nice simple tagliatelle, and just to show you how easy it is really. Maybe you should give it a go at home. It's really tasty. It tastes completely different to the dried shop bought stuff. It's absolutely beautiful, and once you've tried it and you made it, you'll probably wonder why you didn't before. So yeah, I'm going to get this rod sorted out, and then we'll crack on with that. Right, pasta, you don't need any special flour. Let's get that done and dusted straight away. This is just normal strong white bread flour. You can use normal plain flour. You can use the dedicated 00 pasta flour if you like. Don't get too hung up on it. Ratio of 100 grams of flour to 1 egg, and that is per person. So if you've got 2 people, double it, and so on. Right, we're going to do what for 1 person is quite difficult to make a very small amount. So we're going to do 200 grams of flour, which is about that much. Make a little well in the middle. If you're at home, you can just do this on a work surface, but I'm doing it in a bowl because I don't have a work surface. Okay, and then crack in 2 eggs. Drizzle of olive oil. And a slug of our little salt and pepper seasoning mix. And then just get busy with it. I usually start by whisking up the eggs in the middle, and then just start integrating the flour with the eggs. These eggs were quite large, so we're going to go a little more flour. Yeah, 100 grams is a guideline. If you look at it and you think, oh, it's a bit wet, it's a bit dry, it's going to vary with the size of the eggs. Because I'm on a beach, I'm trying to do this in a bowl as much as possible, but If you're at home on a work surface, it'll obviously happen a lot quicker. And what you're looking for is a really tight dough. You don't want it to be too sticky. You want it to be quite dry and tight. Let's make this pasta dough, and we're going to let it rest for half an hour or so. And after it's rested, it'll become wetter. So you start off dry, knowing that you're going to end up with a wetter dough. In the absence of a work surface, we've got a bit of MDF. And I'm going to slip on a glove because my hands are a bit baity. I've given them a clean, but even so... Oh, damn it. Right. Turn that out on there. We just want to give it a really good kneading. And if like this is starting to get a bit sticky, don't be scared to just add a bit more flour. What we want, I keep saying, is a nice tight dough. Right, when you've got a nice smooth looking dough like that, you're all good. So what I'm going to do now is just going to wrap this up in a little bit of cling film. I'm just going to let that rest for half an hour. I'm just going to toast off our pine nuts for our pesto. Put the pine nuts into a dry pan and toast them off. It's not entirely essential to toast off your pine nuts, but it just releases a lot more flavour from them. There we go. Now we just let them cool down. Okay, for our pesto then, we're going to peel some garlic and chop it up. Okay, you can make pesto with all sorts. Obviously basil is the classic. I have some coriander here as well. You can make it with rocket, you could make it with parsley. You can use different nuts as well. You could use hazelnuts instead of pine nuts. I'm just going to really roughly chop these herbs up. Okay, I just got a little tub. I'll scrape all of this into the tub. Our pine nuts are cooled down now, in they go. Now I have some of here, the worst kind of parmesan you can buy really, the grated stuff. It's not great, but it's all they had in the shop this morning, so I'll have to make do with this. Whack your parmesan in, and more olive oil. Bit of seasoning, and give it a really nice zhuzh up. Now ideally, if you were at home, you'd probably put a bit more oil in and blitz this up with a hand blender to make a really nice, lovely green pesto. But I'm not going to put too much oil in this. You'll see why when I make the pasta, but I'm just going to leave this like this for now and pop a lid on. Okay, time to fill out our bream. We've done this plenty of times before. Going to scale him off first. Now we'll take out the pin bolts. So I've just scored the fish there, just lightly score it, don't go all the way through. It'll just help the fish to cook a bit quicker and look a little nicer as well. I'm just going to drizzle this with a little oil and a bit of seasoning. Okay, so the time has come to roll out our pasta. I've obviously never done this on the beach before. I've made pasta many times, never on the beach. I've never rolled it out with a piece of 40mm waste pipe either. It is new waste pipe, but this is our rolling pin for the day. And of course a bit of MDF, which isn't very big. I don't know if you can see there now. It's had half an hour rest. And already how wet and sticky that is compared to what it was. It was really quite tight, but now I can easily stretch it with my fingers. That's the difference of it having a bit of a rest. That's what I'm going to do. This is too much for me. I'm just going to cut it in half. Put this to one side in case we have a disaster. Start off with a nice ball. Right. Now if you have a pasta machine at home, you can obviously use that in luxury. Really, you want to use as little flour as possible, but to be honest with you, just the more flour you use, the easier it is. So if you're using a pasta machine, you just need to use enough flour to stop it sticking to the machine. I think I'm going to have to cut this in half again because it's yeah, I'm going to do this in 2 halves. I'm doing that because my board just isn't big enough. If I was at home on a work surface, I would just do it all in one. And just do one really nice big piece of pasta. How do you know when to stop? Well, you want the pasta as thin as possible. 1 millimetre or so. How do you know when it's 1 millimetre or so? Well, generally I have it, so when you look at the pasta, the bits of flour that are stuck underneath, you can see that through the pasta. Then you know you're in the right sort of ballpark. Okay, you know what? I think we're more or less there. Nice thin pasta. Okay. So then what you want to do is just roll it up. Just cut it into strips. Just use our bowl from earlier. Now obviously these are fairly short. If you're at home and you're on a work surface, you can make it bigger than this. You have nice long tagliatelle ribbons. You can do them as thick or thin as you like. I like them fairly thick like this, or wide, not thick. Now we'll do our second piece. Now do bear in mind I'm fishing. Grand scheme of things, that didn't really take very long, did it? We got a nice big bowl of pasta. That would almost be double if I was at home, because I would have rolled all that out in one. I made a load of it. So okay, so our water's boiling away nicely then. I just freshened up a bait while I was waiting for that. So when you've got a nice rolling boil, pop it all in. Now it depends how thick your pasta is as to how long it'll take to cook. 2 to 3 minutes, something like that really. Okay, we're good. Put that back in. And what I have here is a nice big knob of butter. That's why I didn't put too much oil into our pesto, because I had a nice big Dollop of butter, which is lovely on fresh pasta. We'll pop our pesto in. Just pop a little lid on that. Char griller back on. Okay, so our char griller starts to smoke nicely. Remember, when you're char grilling food, always oil the food, not the char grill. That smells amazing. It really does. I think this is ready to turn now. Asparagus is done. I'll go a bit of extra Parmesan cheese on top. Let's have a look. I love char grilling fish, it's amazing. If you've never made homemade pesto before, just try it. It's so much better than the stuff you get in a jar. It's a completely different animal. Cheers all. Had one strap, one bream, which was lunch, and a tiny little joey mackerel. Yeah, not the most successful day on the beach. Sorry guys, I know. It's the way it is. I think the next couple of vids we'll have to go somewhere different. I think we're gonna have a change again. So yeah, maybe the Bristol Channel, maybe further along the south coast, I don't know, but next couple of vids we'll have a change. It won't be Chesil, we'll be somewhere different. Usual rules apply, folks. Please like and subscribe. If you're good enough to leave a comment, I'll be delighted to reply, and we'll catch you on the next one. See you all. Cheers. Well, last cast wonder. Another lovely bream. That was literally on the last chuck, so yeah, 2 bream. Lovely bream. I'm going to whack him back because he's only lip hooked. Yeah, I'm out of here.